All right.
Good morning, Dustin.
Good evening.
Oh.
Oh,
How is life in California today?
well, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I had a busy day, but getting ready to wind down. And today, I was just hearing about this Taiwan earthquake. Seems pretty serious. We had massive rainstorm yesterday.
Okay.
Massive, huge, torrential. Then today was sunny.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's almost like the opposite here. Yesterday it was sunny and green and everything, and today when I wake up, everything is white.
Yeah.
It's like, didn't spring already come?
It's coming. I got some blooming trees and blooming fruit trees. It's good.
Oh,
Nice. Their
very
first
nice.
year. Yeah. One of those things I really took up more appreciation and focus for is the different nature things in my life. It's cool.
Oh.
Yeah. Trying to stare into the sun a little bit every day and different things like that.
Yeah.
So
It's nice to
speaking of,
find appreciation for nature.
yes, yeah, that's the whole point, I think. It's the whole point. So yeah, so we're talking about Ukko.
Yes,
Gubben.
we're preparing for Ukko's Day.
Ukko's Day, which is what day of the what day is that?
It's the 4th of 4th.
Okay.
Yes.
4-4. Wow.
4.
44. The 1 on 44. I think light speed is 144,000 miles a second. Something like that.
Well,
But 144 is also 12 by 12 times 12. Yeah.
yeah, true. Yeah.
And I also think it's a Fibonacci number too. I think it is. I think 144 is a Fibonacci number, 44.
That could be. Too early to think of so far in numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, no. Oh, wait, it is. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, it is. 144. So, yeah, Ukko,
Yes.
the grandfather of the world.
Yes, that's a very big title.
Okay. Oh, Ukko. Okay.
Ah, yeah, it comes from there. Yeah.
Okay. So, tell me about Ukko.
Well, Ukko's a great man. He's wise and talented.
Yes, and you were saying how Ukko maybe has different representations based on time periods, especially in the Bock Saga. We have the beginning, middle, and end of the story.
Yes, that is very right. Yes.
And there is a beginning, middle, and end to Ukko as well. So what's Ukko? If I were to just talk to any random Finn these days, and I would say, what's Ukko? What's the word Ukko mean? What would they say?
Oh, they would take up that he is a thunder god or a god of rain and this kind of heavenly god person.
And the word for thunder?
That's Ukkonen.
Ukkonen.
And the nen again makes it a person, like ihme is a miracle and ihminen is a human. So Ukko is the person, and Ukkonen is the thunder, but it's also the thunder person.
Wow. Ukkoinen. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. And that sound is also in väinämöinen. Yeah.
The nen, yes. The nen sound is there.
Yeah.
So.
And what are other names for like dad, father, grandfather in well, what are Ukko's other name? What are Ukko's other names actually?
So Ukko is the Van name for him. Vaner call him Ukko, and Aser call him Gubben Per.
Gubben Per. The Per
Gubben
has a meaning in Van as well, right? It means head.
Pää is head.
Yeah.
And then the R is for Ra. So he's the head Ra, the Pää Ra.
So it'd be Bock Per.
Bock Per, yeah. That's again one more name.
Okay.
When he is represented as the Bock.
But Ukko is not born Ukko.
No, every man is born Sampo, and then every man becomes Seppo Ilmarinen, and then every man who wants to become father becomes Lemminkäinen, and then every man who is Lemminkäinen who gets birth to a Lemminkäinen becomes Ukko. And then it's a little bit more detailed when we come to the Piruet family, when Ukko has to become father of Lemminkäinen, who is 27 and becomes the next Lemminkäinen, and then Ukko becomes honored as grandfather.
And so yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's found in a lot of other words.
Ukko. Yeah, Finns used to like Ukko a lot, to use them in very different meanings.
I was just looking in my Finnish English dictionary, and it was it gave me a name of a mushroom. And it's called a parasol mushroom. Yeah. And in Finnish, it is. I sent it to you. Maybe you can say it for me.
Yeah.
It's in the Telegram chat. I sent it to you. Can you say it? Do you see it?
It's Ukon sieni.
And
Ukon then gives an ownership. Ukkos, and sieni is a mushroom.
Do you see anything with that N, sieni, part of that word? Or does that just mean mushroom? Oh, suami. Oh, it's the same thing. Suami, mushroom, right?
Oh, yeah, those are very close. Yeah, suami and sieni.
Yes.
Yeah.
But mushroom in Von would be swamp, correct?
No, that's a root.
Oh, that's root. Mushroom is swamp.
Yeah.
But I said it right already in Von, in Finnish. Okay. But what's interesting is, so in this dictionary, my dictionary, when I do it in Google Translate, it just says mushroom, ukonsiani. But in my dictionary here, it says specifically a parasol mushroom, pa-ra-sul.
Yes.
Mushroom.
Yes. You can have the parasol, and then in Finnish you can say paras. Paras is the best, and then sol becomes the sun. So it's the best. Or then you can also, the sol, you can all. So paras, all, like the best of all. It's an interesting looking mushroom also. Like it's a little bit like this amarytia.
Like an umbrella.
Yeah.
Like a Asian umbrella or something. Well, actually, no. I don't know. It's there's a few different ones. It's It's very it also has like something around its stem, and so it has like its uva, the huva.
Yeah, it a little bit grows like.
Yes, I wonder how it got its name in Finnish. That's just interesting to me, where it says Ukko in the name of this mushroom. This
But we have
specific
several
kind,
plants.
and it is a forest mushroom.
Yeah, and it's an edible mushroom.
Hmm.
So,
of course it is.
in Swedish, it's called stolt fjällskivling, and stolt is proud, and fjäll is kind of the hill. A korvatunturi is a fjäll type of a hill, and then skivling is shiva is when you cut something. It's like
or share or divide.
Yeah, awesome. So it has
so like a moon shiva would be like a crescent moon or a half moon.
Yeah, when you divide the shiva, yeah, then becomes crescent.
So let's hear some mythology on Ukko, and you're probably familiar with all the different. I can't go into. I don't have too much detail. I just have some words I look at, and I kind of know that it's. Is Ukko also väinämöinen?
Ukko becomes väinämöinen after the second Ragnarök when they move back to Finland. Yes.
Okay.
As I
Interesting.
understand.
That's an interesting distinction. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like Ukko, first we have the paradise time Ukko, when he is just pure Ukko. Then we have the Atlantis time Ukko, when he is still Ukko, but Lemminkäinen changes to Raphael. So he has a little bit different twist.
So what happens is what happened during ice time, they didn't need so many kids.
Yeah.
And it became more difficult to make so many kids as well.
Yeah.
So the firstborn, or the Lemminkäinen, also took the role of the firstborn son when it was in 12s.
And then they cut from 12 sons to 7 sons. So the firstborn is still the king, the Ra.
Oh, okay.
King. And then the secondborn, I understand, becomes the Lemminkäinen.
Oh, okay.
But he is not called Lemminkäinen, he is called Raphael.
Raphael, yes.
And then you're free to have babies after that.
By
You have the Ra, he is also, because Ra is still representing a kind of royalty. And then you have the Fa, which is the father. And then you have the,
there it is.
El is then again maybe connected to Ella, which is then Gubben, the grandmother.
Oh, okay. AKA Akka.
Yeah. Oh, it can also be a clog, like the law of the oak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, EL.
And then after Ice Age, when they have to escape to Gotland to be able to survive, then he becomes Gubben Noah. And that's kind of then the similar as the Noah story. And then when they return from Gotland.
Where does that name come from? Gubben Noah. Is that that in common history of Scandinavia?
It's in Bock Saga, Gubben Noah is Ukko when he is living on Gotland between 8016 and 7016 before our time.
Okay.
So that 1000 years is Noah time. Noah time. Like there is a concept also in Swedish history which called Noah Tun, which is then kind of the new city or the Noah's town.
Is there it's also associated, well, I mean, there's Ukko and Akka.
Yes.
And there's a lot of Aka words. There's a lot of Aka words.
Yeah, there
Ukko,
probably is. Yeah.
these Ukko words are a little more tricky to pull out. They seem a lot more common in Finnish. So what's the Finnish word for hair?
Hair. One hair is hius. The hair, hiukset.
Like what about like hair? You know, not just any hair. Like
If you
get
talk
your hair
about
cut.
hair in general, you talk about hiukset.
Okay, so what's this tukka word? Tukka.
Tukka, that's just a synonym of hair.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
well, you have the word. You have ukka in that word.
Yeah, you have both.
And then there's also tukko. Tukko.
Tukko.
Tukko. It's
Yeah,
like
the tukko sa is when something is stuck.
yeah, like plugged up.
Yeah.
Clogged.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like the drain took it. Took it.
It's when the information doesn't flow anymore. It's
Right.
stuck at the bottom.
Yeah. You took it from Ukko. And then and what was there some is there some celebrations, cultural celebrations of I actually it says here's another one I'm probably going to need your help pronouncing. It's the Aiya.
Aia.
Aiya.
Yeah.
And Aiyo.
Aio.
Aiya, Aiyo.
Yeah, it's again, aia is a synonym kind of for Ukko. Aia is when you are a little bit more manly or a little bit like humorous or like this kind of rougher guy. Like Ukko is a more kind of formal, polite man. Aia is then the rough man of it, kind of, but they're the same person still.
It sounds like to me like it is in väinämöinen. Väinämöinen.
Yeah, it's can be in the kind of sound combination inside aina. Because like in Finnish also we can call him also only Väinä. Väinä ja äijä Väinä. Äijä Väinä.
Yeah. It sounds connected.
Yeah.
So and so we have Ukko would be born Sampo.
Yes, every man is born Sampo. Or also Sampo or Frey was the first
or
man.
Frey or Freya. Yes. And then Lemminkainen, Balder, Ukko, Gubben. And then you have, but Seppo. Who's
Seppo?
That's not Sampo. Seppo
is the king. He's Seppo Ilmarinen.
Got it. Yes, got it.
Seppo is then a Seppä. He is like a blacksmith. He's known also like the man who carries the basara, the hammer, and he forges everything in the mythological Finnish side.
Yeah, and then on the root side, it would be Kuningas for Seppo.
Yeah, that's the king.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because like the Kuningas
kind of has the word king in Kuningas.
Yeah, the word Kuningas can be split into part ku, ring, as. So it's the moon ring Azer. Which then is
you take out that U and you also got king, as.
Yeah, king.
So, says it right there.
Indeed.
Hmm.
Very interesting languages.
Definitely. I'm fascinated by the words, especially like in English, as well. So I thought it was a coincidence. I sent that to you also, where I was looking up the word faith, because faith is like, it's a tricky word to really describe what faith is.
Like each of it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to really give a clear meaning of what faith is. And so when I translate it, say into Swedish, it's just true.
Yeah.
But that's not really true. Isn't really what faith means in English. True, something that's true or truth is quite a bit different. Faith is more of like, you don't have evidence, you don't have proof, but you just know it, or you just really feel like you need to have faith in something. Faith is something you have faith in something that you don't know for sure, but
Yeah, in a way.
it's like hope. It's more like hope.
Yeah. But also it's pronounced true. So it's
True.
not completely true, but it's true. And it's also like in astrology, it's astrology. So you kind of believe in the logic of everything. And then when you believe in that logic, you also believe in the truth of it.
It's
Then
like hope with
truth.
confidence. Hope with confidence. Yeah, that sounds better. Interesting. Yeah, especially with astrology is like what people use astrology now these days is kind of like determining what's going to be happening, kind of like fortune telling almost. And this is what's said that the women, the queens, would take care of, would use this logic to kind of create these stories of Ukko and of Akka, of all of the stories.
Yeah, of everybody.
But they tell, just as like Eeyore received the Bock Saga from two women, the women who originally were making these stories would also give them to different characters, different, and this information would be disseminate through everywhere, through some of the children born that are not parents, the Nar, who become narrators, narrators, right? And then and a lot of these stories would also be acted out. And Ukko has some different. There's different masks. An actor, would act out, representing the Ukko.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. I think one of them may have been a tiger. Is that right? Or a lion? It's a lion head. Yes.
Ukko is represented as a lion. Ukko and
a lion.
Yeah. You can see that also in the coat of arms of Finland. You have the lion standing, and then the tongue coming out, and then you have his oak crown on the head. And then he has the straight sword, which is representing Lemminkäinen, on his hand. And then he's standing on the sable, which is representing his first son, the king. And then the end of the sable head, you find a phoenix head, and that's then representing Maija, Ilmatar, the queen.
Wow. I'm looking at it right now. It says 5.
5.
Also looks like a 5.
Really?
Doesn't it? It
Ah.
looks like a 5 to me.
That's
the
then
sword,
the golden
with the sword coming across, and then down the arm into the lion's body, and then the foot is standing on top of the sword. It looks like a 5. I don't know. And then there's also what about there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know what they are. Oh, flowers.
The silver flowers.
Huh?
The silver flowers.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah, 5-pointed flowers. 5-pointed flowers with 5 petals.
I've heard that that would be representing this the counties of Finland, or what is it called? The provinces of Finland back in the times.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And like that's like Saga, from Saga people, I heard.
What do you mean?
Like it's not common knowledge that the silver stars are the old counties of Finland or the old provinces of Finland.
Oh.
Kind of.
Oh, yeah. It says the coat of arms was originally created around year 1580.
Mm-hmm.
A crowned lion on a red field. Right foreleg replaced with a armored human arm brandishing a sword. Trampling on a saber with its hind paws. Everything else looks kind of like they're just guessing all the rest of the information about it. Oh, the heraldic lion is quite common in Western Europe, that kind of stuff.
But also in the grave of Gustav Vasa, I remember that they placed this in the memorial grave, yeah, in 58.
And in 1550, so just 30 years prior, was when Helsinki got its name. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's when the city of Helsinki was created. But there was some
Under that
villages
name.
living before also.
Oh, really? Did they have a
Yeah,
different name for it, or?
There is some maps when in the Swedish name, the Helsingfors. There is some with Helsinge or Helsinki, not Helsinki directly, but like the Helsing name in some form. Like the city is founded in 1550, but there was a village in that place before that.
Here's the first known use of the lion in Sweden was on a royal seal of Erik Knutson, who died 1216, and Erik Erikson, 1216 to 1250. 2 and 3 lions on their seals, respectively. That's pretty early on. You don't get much information on any earlier than that. You know, like that's common knowledge.
Yeah. Everybody looks into that time of history.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to pierce the veil without something like, I don't know, say an oral story passed down through the generations through a single family.
But it's not actually single family in a sense, because you have, for example, Bockström and Raström. They are 2 different families in a way.
Where are they at?
So before 1050, it's one family, but when they have to go in exile in 1050, then they start to split when they live in Lapland, they start to split up in families and they create 33 families. So in 1250, when they are get to come back to Finland, then there is coming many families. And two of those families is then Bockström and Raström, who continue their parts of their mythology. But what happens with the 31 other families, that's then another interesting story.
Yeah.
Because like this,
I know nothing about this.
There is some small details, like in the Bock Saga and introduction book, they list up like 6 or 7 of these names. And after that, it starts to say that look into the phone catalog and find more names, and you will find these all paradise types of names. You have like Palm is one of these names. And then you have Stenbock, and Stenbock is also then becomes with the Vasa family married in Gustav Vasa time, and Vasa family is one, and Rev family is one, and then this family that becomes the Wolf family belongs to those, and yeah. But there is also, when they're living in Lapland, they start to create so that back in the days when you have the swan coming from the ringlands outside, so now you need to create a system so that the Lemminkäinen family, the Bockström family, always get a swan from outside. So then you create the family of 33, where you can always choose which family's lady you will get as your swan. So then you're able to continue with a certain kind of family structure still, even if you're split up.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. So like Eeyore's
it's an interesting number they chose.
Indeed. There is also a speech that they would also split up into 12 brothers, so that each brother would be living in their one different province in Finland. But I'm not really in detail understanding of how that happened.
So why don't we go back and can you share maybe we're saying Ukko is retired from his duties as children maker.
Yes.
So what is the life like in paradise time of Ukko? What is he representing? I guess not representing, maybe what was his life to be like, what was the Ukko's life to be like, and how does the myth of Ukko, of Gubben, of Bock Per. The head, Per means, or Per in Japan means okay. Means head, like head of the family. Yeah. But it also means this head.
Yes.
And it also means this head.
Yes. That's the beauty. That's the anatomical multi.
I mean, it's the same thing in English. Head, and the head of the family.
Yeah. True.
As it's used the same exact way. Okay. So yeah.
But Ukko, even if he is retired from children making, he is still responsible for being the head of the information system. So he has information duties which he has to follow. And one of the main information system is to be on Odense, the central island of the world. And then he has on the hill, on the Lyssnarberget, he has his golden shining tower. And then he is sitting in his golden shining tower and thinking about things. And then lyssnar is to listen. So he is listening to everybody. So he has some skill that he can hear everybody in the world from his tower, from the top of the world. And then when he is sitting there, then we have this open parliament moment when all the Nars, or I don't know if everybody has to come, but the Nars from around the world come to Uudenmaa, to Odense, and then they stop there. There is some kind of this kind of colosseum or speech place so that the Nar can gather around, and then they make a half ring of fire in front of them, and inside of the ring the king Ers Seppo Ilmarinen is standing, and then the Nar can ask questions to the king, asking, and then he will asking, and then Ers will ask from his father who is up in the tower. He will shout, "Daddy, what's this question answer?" And then Per up in his tower with Kela think about the thing. And then when he has thought the answer, he will shout it back to his son on the ground. And then when his son gets the answer, then he will answer to the Nar, and then the Nar get the information, and then they will return to the ringlands with these answers. And this is kind of also a reflection of nature, where Ukko in the tower, he is representing the sun, and then the sun reflects on the moon, which is his son, and then the moon reflects on the earth, which is the Nar. Then we have this Lysnar, can split up then into pieces to have Lys, light, which can also be light, use, and then the Nar. So the light reflects on the Nar, and the Nar brings the information to the people. That's one of Ukko's.
The listener, and the narrator, and the listener. And so Per would be more Ukko than Lemminkainen. Is that correct?
Per would be what?
Per. P-E-R.
Per.
Like Per's son.
Per's son. Everybody is Per's sons. Son of Per.
Right. Yeah. So this is like there are so many Per words. So many. And I thought of a funny one today. And that I think it's kind of silly and probably nothing, but diaper. So what babies wear, right? I was just curious what it is in what I would think of a diaper as always being something, I feel like, that mothers would use. Don't you think?
Yeah.
This can't be a modern thing. There's got to have been some form of diapers since forever, right?
Yeah, it sounds like a very old word.
And it's not like a word where you just add an ER. You know, it's not changing it into a verb or anything. It's a noun. Its name is diaper. It's not a dipe or a it's diaper.
Yeah.
Dia pair. And then what's it say in Finnish?
It's vaippa.
Vaippa.
Vaippa is also used like
P-A?
Yeah.
Pa? Isn't that papa?
Papa.
Yeah? Like pa? Like papa? Like father? So it has the same ending?
Yeah, it has a papa ending.
Yeah. I don't know. Isn't that silly? I mean, that's kind of weird.
And vai is also used like or. It's like there is tai and there is vai, depending on. So it's why papa.
Or like plugged up. Something like that. Or like
vaipa is used to be a cover of something.
Yes.
In general.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, just cover in general. Oh, okay. I don't know. That was super silly. I shouldn't even mentioned it. But real words though with pear would be a fact of pear. Perfect.
Yes.
Like well, pear sun, of course.
Perspective.
Perspective. Perspective. I mean, there's literally hundreds of words. I don't know why I'm blanking. Paragree.
Paragree.
Do you know paragree? No, like paragree. Do you know what paragree is? I have to look this up. I can't even say what the actual definition is off the top of paragree. No? Okay, it's not giving me. I don't know. Oh, it refers to the point of an object's orbit around a celestial body, perigee. And when it's closest to that body, for example, the case of the moon orbiting the Earth, the perigee is the point in which the moon is the closest to the Earth in its orbit. Perigee.
Okay.
Perigee.
Is that then when we say the moon is the lowest or the moon is the highest?
Closest.
When is it the closest?
I don't know.
Because we have the moon goes in cycles. It goes low, up, and then it starts to go down.
Yeah, it makes like kind of a figure. If you were to take a picture of the moon at the same time every night, it would make throughout the year or throughout a month, it would make like kind of like an infinity sign or like a figure 8 in the sky. Yeah. But I believe I don't think it would have anything to actually do. Its distance would have too much to do with the sun, its actual phase, what moon Shiva we're in.
Yeah, that changes. That's a different pattern. Oh, the sun reflection.
Yeah, because it apparently everything's orbiting in kind of like a elliptical,
Yeah.
But that's the name for it. It's perigee. I wonder if I'm pronouncing it right because it sounds like well, I guess there's no other R. I was gonna say it sounds like agree, but
maybe that's an agree, like you're making the elliptical circle.
This phenomenon is often referred to as colloquial as supermoon. So a supermoon is its perigee.
A supermoon is when it's the biggest.
Yeah, so when it's the biggest, it's the closest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So supermoons. I remember last August we had 2 supermoons in the same month.
Okay. You bet. Why not?
I had some pretty nice pictures of those.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a supermoon again with lunar eclipse.
We had more you sent stuff, and also so Ukko in Paradise Time. What I remember is he would also visit the Ringlands. It would be the only time. It would be the first time he's not so busy. And so would go to see, the rest of the human family and kind of travel around in the later
that
years.
I would understand to be the Easter time. So the Easter is in Finnish called pääsiäinen. And then when you're a deputy, then you are pääsiäinen. So you have the sia is a position, and then nen. So when Easter comes, Ukko goes and travel, and Akka becomes the deputy. So she's becoming responsible for Uudenmaa. And that's when this celebration at the temple begin, when they start to clean everything around. And then Ukko is free, so he goes in some kind of mask, and then he goes to travel to see his grandchildren and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-great-grandchildren. But how does he mask himself? How do Ukko, the great, sunny, very bright, heavenly man, mask himself so that he becomes a normal person?
What do you mean?
Because if you are
Does he need
Ukko,
to?
you are Ukko, you are a really bright, strong person. Like somebody who sees you will directly notice that that is a very significant person. And when he goes outside of the ringlands, he's not supposed to expose himself to be Ukko, but he's supposed to be somebody who looks like a normal person.
Huh. But what are we saying that it is just a different, he looks that much different than everybody else? Isn't everybody basically copies of the Lemminkainen?
Everybody is different still, of course, because like we
Yeah.
still have the seed structure, so that Lemminkainen is 1-to-1 seed, his son is a half, and so on. So when you have Trell, you have 1/16 seed left.
Yeah, that's in I hear that as more of like the count and quality of the seed, but not of the physical form can look the same but be impotent, something like that. No? Impotent means like unable to reproduce.
Yeah. But
no seed.
That's also, as I would stand, that also changes how you look, because like if you choose between Disa and Sienare, it also has to do with the beauty and the health of it. So when you're choosing the people who are making children, it also has to do with their appearance.
Parents.
Appearance.
Appearance.
Yeah.
Our parents.
Appearance.
Parents. Yes. Nice.
So Ukko, if you're Ukko, I would think that you will be able to see that that person is somebody very significant in some way.
Yeah. So that even if it's a select few would know who he is for safe passage,
Yeah,
so
of course, the Acer family
be
knows who he is.
Yeah.
Should know.
And it is during before he's retired that all of these aesthetics are brought up to the Lemminkainen temple. We're still in paradise time right now, but the treasures made for the Allfather would have already been made, and the temple rooms already constructed with his statue, for example, and then he's just basically enjoying retirement at this point.
Yeah. But like these treasures during his lifetime, they come first to one of the temples in hell, and then they're transferred into the Raseborg castle, so they are kept up during his generation. And then when his generations end, then they are preparing to put them into the temple. And then when it's his time to choose that he's wanna go and fall, then he goes inside of the temple, or he goes inside of the cave, then he goes from the temple, and then somewhere between the temple and this underworld is a place where he can go and do his fall. We are not completely sure exactly where his place is, but would imagine that it's not at least that he goes to the, like, when you go in Sipo into the cave, you first meet the temple, and then from the temple there goes a lava tube, which is in bird perspective 23 kilometers.
Yes.
There's a long tube that goes underneath the Valhalla hole, and then you go to the bottomless pit. And then it would be a bit wild that you go and fall the many, maybe 400 kilometers, and then you scrap your body and then you go and lift it up. Then there is like talk that maybe the fall is before that bottomless pit or somewhere in between, so that you don't have to go the whole way, but he has like this special room where he goes and fall always.
So it said that Ukko's stupa is inside Valhalla.
Ukko's stupa is in the underworld.
In the underworld.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that was part of it. Is that so? That's in the in Saga.
Yeah. Akka falls outside and Ukko falls inside.
Right.
But where exactly Ukko falls is the question.
And also, väinämöinen or Ukko is depicted with always depicted with a certain kind of hat, let's say.
Yes.
A certain kind of helmet, implying a certain form. And we have the Gotland rune stones, which have pretty clear depictions of Ukko väinämöinen, and yeah, right.
Yeah.
The keyhole rune stones, and I have something written down. Oh, we have the just to cover a little bit more of what we already said earlier. The Nar get their education on the 7 islands.
They have their open parliament.
And so the Nar take that information from Ukko, and transfer it to the Jarl. And then the Jarl transfer that information to the Car. And this is where you get your characters, your actors who acted out in a theater. And there's a word, Rasti.
Yeah. Rasti is the cross, is the meeting point. So every ringland has an own Rasti where you gather, and Rasti you have the circus and the theater and all this, and then all the Vanir gather there to listen to the stories which come from Udema or from Bina.
And then Ukko is the lion, and the king is the fox?
Also, he's the tea
it.
giver also, the tiger.
Ukko also has another name, Nicholas.
Nicholas, yes.
Hmm?
That's also transferred into the Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas.
Yes.
And then the neck is the neck. Also, when we talk about the three characters in the circus, like Ukko being the big class, and Teppo is the middle class, and Lemminkäinen is the little class. That is representing the three Bocks, the big Bock, the middle Bock, and the little Bock. And then also when interpreting Kalevala, you can see that in Kalevala, this play is coming out, that you have these three different characters, and they're playing out their roles. And you can see in the story that when it's Ukko's time to tell the story, you have Ukko-related stories, and then when it's Ilmarinen's turn, you have Ilmarinen-related things, and then also Lemminkäinen and all the other characters come represented in their own way.
And so is that a good summary of Paradise for Ukko?
Yeah, and there is Ukko is always walking with his son. So even if he's retired,
a particular one?
With
a
Seppo,
particular
the
son?
first son.
Okay.
Yeah. They are always working together. Like Seppo is a trusted, strong man, and then Ukko is his guider in some way. You have always the brightest mind on the earth following you when you're the king. You have nothing to worry about.
And then Ukko väinämöinen in Vinland, Finland. And then we got Ukko in Lapland.
Yeah.
Joulu.
That's then when they moved to Lapland. Like back in Uudenmaa, he's riding his sled with goats.
This is more recent.
The Joulu is between 1050 and 1250. Okay.
Well, let's wait because we kind of covered some Paradise. Let's do do you have anything you want to add to Paradise, Ukko?
Well, we probably have a lot if we start to dig into it more, but I think we have the main idea described.
Like what? What do you think? Like pertaining to what?
Well, we have this whole the snake idea that you have the middle garden snake, the Midgårdsorm, and then you have the Laxorm and the dragon snake. And this then has to do also with the information and the offering system, that on the top of the world you have the female snake, which is the flying snake, and the male snake, which is the water or the earth snake. And then these are representing Ukko and Akka when they are making the Heliga Graal and the Holy Grail. And that's meaning when Ukko's and Akka's, these systems are coming in together at the top of the world. And that's kind of the Holy Grail in short.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Yes.
But that's also perhaps. So per has the pole of the sun. Perhaps.
Hops.
And one interesting, which I also noticed when I was thinking about this before, that father is fa-the-r. So it's fa is the father, and the and the ra. So it's the same as pa ra is also in fa-the-r. So Ukko is also far. He is like the grandfather. So he is the father of the fa, and then he becomes the para. Par.
Pertaining to.
Pertaining. And then one interesting is also like in the root language, when he's Gubben Per. Huh?
A permit.
Permit. Permission. What's
Yes,
permission?
Yeah.
And then also
what
you
were
have
gonna say?
Gubbe, and then you have Jordgubb. Jord is the ground, and Gubbe, and that's a strawberry. I'm also wondering that did they have strawberries in paradise for eating the Gubbe from the ground?
What other besides having? That's weird. Also, the word strawberry, that one's kind of weird in English too. I feel like it should have a different name. I don't think they're actually technically a berry, nor are they technically a fruit. Strawberry, but Jord, isn't that world?
Yeah, that's also world. It's world and it's earth and it's the ground.
The world father. So maybe it's just after the shape, because it is kind of a Lancier shape or like a heart shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have that,
it's also
heart shape.
Heart. Yeah, it's also a heart shape, yeah. And then when you have the straw, you have the top of the earth, and then you have these small dots.
Oh, true. Kind of like yeah, kind of like the ringland in the center, the stans.
Yeah.
And all the little seeds. See, that part is the the way the strawberry is, it's not. I think those, even the little things on aren't all I don't think those are the actual seeds of the strawberry, if I remember correctly, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
And you know, strawberries are really pretty on the ends. If you cut them in half and you look in the middle, it's all it looks like all the sugar crystals and everything. They're really pretty. Very interesting looking on the inside. And very heart-shaped, toroidal almost.
In Finnish, it's mansikka, and then it's mansikka. Like these berries have the sikka in the end. You have mustikka, which is then the blueberry. You have mansikka, you have the ma also there. The mansikka, the earth's berry.
That is interesting. Sika. What about Sika? Oh, you said that is it the Sika is berry?
I'm not completely sure about that, but
no,
it's
the
a repeating
Marja is berry.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have the same in blueberry. You have like mustikka, mansikka. So it's something with that ending of ikka.
Yeah, that is close to akka, ukko, you know.
That also.
Ikka, which would be the same as gube. Yeah, it makes the least sense in English, just strawberry. There any other root words with gube?
Not really. There's gubbe itself, which means an old man, like in general.
What about goob? Goob. Huh? Goob. Just goob. Or ben. Goob ben. Ben. The Ben stone. You ever heard of that?
Ben stone. But the N is an ending. It's like gubbe, gubben. It's like man, the man.
It's a creation myth of the Heliopolitan, an ancient Egyptian religion. The Ben was the mound that arose from the primordial waters of Nu. Upon which the creator deity Atum settled. The Ben stone is a top stone of the pyramid related to the obelisk. So the Ben stone is the top of the pyramid.
Yeah. That sounds very much,
Ben.
the way that you told the story sounds very much like they tell about Väinämöinen in Kalevala. Like he's the primordial burn, and then he's the top of the pyramid in the saga.
Just saying, I just read this. I didn't have this ready to read. The Ben stone, named after the mound, was a sacred stone in the temple of Ra at Heliopolis.
Heliopolis.
Egyptian, Anu or Lunu. It is the location in which the first rays of the sun fell.
Heliopolis, yeah.
The bird deity Bennu, which was probably the inspiration for the. Okay, I don't want to keep reading. It's probably going to start getting a little less, more lost, I should say. Lost in written history.
But there is interesting details.
Goob, huh? Perish. The church parish or to perish, like when you die, you perish. But you also have parish, which is like a church word, or like it's. I've never been to church, so, but a parish is like the community that you're a part of in the church, I think.
Well, it could be.
Oh my god.
I'm not so familiar with the English church words, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, a parish is yeah, that's. No, I have to just parish is like oh, what? Never mind. It's the same thing. Perish means to kind of die, but that one also has like the SH sound, which makes it a little less root sounding, you know? Superior or super.
Oh, cool.
Superior.
Yeah. And then the su, when you turn it into Y, it's su, and then it's the mouth. The super is the mouth of Per.
Permeate. Which is to like go in and permeate.
Impregnant.
Permeate would be a tun keyutua.
Nyt mä en ymmärrä.
Did I say it bad? Poorly. Yeah, in root is be a permeate. No? Not ringing any bells? Permeate? Oh, it's pair in Swedish also. Perilous. Perilous.
Paramount.
Paramount. Nice. Yes. Pervert.
Perverse.
Perverted.
Yeah, that's verse is perverse.
Oh, here's a good one. Paper.
Paper.
Pa pear.
Ah. That sounds very much that it could be related to this the book tree, the beach.
Mm.
So on the book tree you make the first
yes.
writing, and then you have the pa pair, which you continue with your writing system.
Mm. That the pepper tree. Are they closely related, I wonder?
No idea. I
Pepper.
have not even
Salt and
noticed a
pepper. Pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Paper. Well, yeah, pepper. Yeah, like but that comes from a type of tree, a pepper tree. Salt comes from, you know, the ocean or water or whatever. But salt is the only food or only thing that humans eat that doesn't come from something that was living, like a plant or an animal. Salt. But pepper comes from like peppercorns, like seeds from a pepper tree. And then you also have paper.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's related to like the type of tree. Because I just operate.
What?
Operate.
Operate.
Operate. It's just a word just pops in my head, and
It's operating.
yeah, peroxide. No. Anyway, but like I just ran into someone the other day. She said she was allergic to avocados. Right. And I was like, well, how can you be allergic to avocados? But then I was like, wait, are you also allergic to latex? She said, yeah. I was like, whoa, are you also allergic to bananas? And she said, yeah, I am. And then she was like looking at me like I'm a crazy person. I was like, what about mangoes? She was like, I'm also allergic to those. And I found all that out. And I was like, did you know that they all come from the same kind of tree? And so the tree that produces like latex gloves is the same like family of trees that produces mangoes, bananas, papayas, avocado. And
Really?
she's allergic to all of these things.
Whoa.
Yeah. Very interesting. So but that's what I'm saying, like maybe paper and pepper tree can be something unrelated to Ukko, but side tangent. But
that also has to be a paradise tree then, probably.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine one. I can't really imagine a pepper tree right now, except I think they have like really small, like long leaves. I think I see them around a lot in California, actually. They're pretty common. Maybe, yeah, I wouldn't be able to describe it, but I know what they look like. And they're not evergreen trees. Like they totally they're very weather resistant, so they live in dry weather very easily. But that's more probably in California. I'm sure there's plenty of pepper trees everywhere.
And not really in Finland. But when I now look at this picture of the pepper tree, it looks quite much similar as the rowan tree.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Which is then a mountain ash. And then we are again back to ashes. And also the Hollywood tree, the Hollywood tree, that has also red berries in a bit similar way.
Oh yeah. Well, and the on the pepper tree, I think those would actually be the peppercorns, and so they dry out, and then you grind them up, and now you have pepper seasoning for food and stuff.
Because also the Hollywood tree is also Ukko's representation. Like it's called the iron oak, the järnek. the mistletoe thing is kind of Ukko symbolism. And then Ukko also, he has his staff, which is representing him. Then he has the pearl.
There you go, pearl.
And then he has his bag with his balls.
Yes, Santa bag of gifts.
Yes.
Perpetuity.
Perpetuity. That's very much Ukko like.
Perceptive. Oh, what's this over here in my periphery? The peripheral vision.
That's when you are up in the tower and looking around.
Ooh, nice. Yes. Hyper.
Viper. Viper.
High pair.
High pair.
Yes.
Hyper.
Yes. Hyper. Well, hyper. You're hyper, like a lot of energy, but also hyper means like extreme or like super, or hyper and inflated, or hyperactive is what they always said I was as a kid.
As a kid?
Yeah, they said I was really hyper. Always.
And you're not still anymore.
I'm pretty hyper still.
Yeah, hyper is also like hyper, so you're like a hyper person.
Yes, I think so. They were always trying to suppress me. Sit down, shut up, and pay attention. And that was just never my style.
It sounds familiar to me too.
Yes, and desperate. I could go all day. See, the pair ones, I'm telling you, the word pair pops up everywhere.
You mean the pair? Are you pairing with pair?
Well, parents.
Yeah.
Parents. A pair of events.
A pair of events.
Perform. Pairs form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the viper is the snake. Okay. The viper snake.
Oh yes, the
yes,
viper.
which is then the Kyppelivuori, which is the mountain which the temple is in. So I have the viper play mountain.
What's it in? Translate viper.
Viper is the snake. The.
No, what are the other words for it?
In which language?
Both. In root
in Swedish or root, it's called huggorm. Hugg is when you like hug, but you hug. When you hug, you like bite into something, and orm is then a snake.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which is like hug.
Yeah. So the viper snake comes and hugs your head.
Yeah. And then what was the other one? I'm sorry.
In Finnish, it's ky. So the mountain of the temple is the Kyppelivuori, the viper play mountain.
Oh yes, Q.
And Y is we, and we is like we, us, like everybody. The we per Play Mountain.
Wow. Viper Play Mountain. I mean, it just writes itself.
Yeah.
So maybe I think we have maybe about 20 more minutes
Yeah.
for me. Can we cover maybe a little bit more? What would be Ukko's role? How would he wasn't coming up with the stories and information for himself by himself, right? The hexa
Yeah.
are involved. And
No,
what about
yeah.
what about in ice time also?
Well, in ice time, I don't know we have so much details if he does anything different, because in ice time they're only living in the concentrated small Odenmaa. So you have the author and the wanderer living mixed in area, and they just follow the system. I don't know if there is much specific details about his duties in general, except that he is the person guiding everything.
Got it.
And of course, we have the changes that you don't go into the temple and you don't have the aesthetic systems anymore and all these kind of details. So you have less duties to take care of.
True. And during this time, there's a lot of adaptations happening. A lot of you're gonna have to persevere in these times.
Indeed.
I wish I had
I
more
wonder
Ukko.
if we can record how many times we say pair in this.
But I wonder you know, how they were. Did I already use this one? Operating. There's this law of the nature I find just really fascinating to say that currently in today's society we have all this technology. We have, you know, these cell phones. If the lights went out, I wouldn't know how to turn them back on. If my light bulbs broke, I don't know how to make a light bulb. Hell, I don't even know how to sew. I wouldn't even be able to make myself new clothes. And you know, we have all this technology, so it's really easy to dismiss, not dismiss, but I feel like the word technology, right? Tech. This is to do with nature. Yeah. And the trees, the log in English is log.
Ah, the logbook and the log tree.
Right. And when you you know, we all know that when you cut a tree and you see its rings, it's keeping a log in the log of the log. The logo.
Yeah, the law. Yeah.
The law, which is log. Yeah, I wonder what percentage of words I have pair in them. Sorry, I had to throw that one out. But so like this idea of domesticating animals and creating seeds like wheat, barley, rye, and domesticating the animals from the goat, from peacocks to chickens to elephant to mammoths to different things like that. It just seems, I mean, people do that, right? We have what, 10,000 different breeds of dog.
Yeah,
And
of course.
you know, but we say, oh, these breeds of dogs, many breeds of dogs have existed for hundreds of years.
I don't
But
know if any.
they all came from wolves? Or is it possible that it's the other way around and that the wolves just adapted in the ice? Or I think about these things like this information of developing these animals to become prosperous.
But in root, we have two different kind of wolves, or they're like it's an evolution. You have the ulv, which is the wolf, which is the old type, the mythological thing. That already exists also in other like formats in the saga that makes it old. And then you have the Bari, which is the more nowadays wolves, because Ari means angry. So the wolf became angry afterwards, in some sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because the wolf had been a friendly animal probably before, and then it becomes this nowadays, which people are more afraid of because we are afraid of the nature in general, in some sense.
Repertoire.
Repertoire.
Repertoire. This is my brain all day, Johan. All day, every day for over a year.
Imagine. And this is just like the first years.
Yeah. Thank goodness I don't speak the other language yet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this condition will be permanent. Did I repeat any yet? I never even said esperma, but whatever.
Yeah.
When you breathe in, and you breathe out, and you breathe in, and you aspirate out.
You respirate. It's also then in the spirit. Respirate.
Aspirate. Wow, that one's awesome. That's great. I love that because that is that's not because in I've never thought about that one actually. I was just thinking I was just having pear in my mind, but aspirate is an actual breath and spirit link in English.
Like respirate is respirating.
Yes.
Because your breath is your breathing spirit all the time.
Yes.
Like we have andas or hengitä.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, it's the same word. Spirit and breath is the same word in both root and von.
Yeah.
But in English, it's always like, well, you have breath and spirit. Where do they connect? And that's it, right there.
Yeah.
You just pointed it out, even though.
And there is the P word, respire.
Yeah. There's also we have a tree. I think we have a tree here in California. Also, the juniper tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, the juniper.
Oh, there's also juniper. What is this word in?
I'm gonna put it in. See if what pops up. Wow, in Finnish it doesn't. Oh, juniper tree.
That's in root. It's the
Kataja.
N.
Kataja. Kataja.
Yeah. In root, that's N. N means one. And N is then the knowledge of the oak, and that's kind of what pear is also about.
What's bar? Why my translator is saying giving me N bar. Or hold on. Yeah, N bear. N bear.
And bad. That's the berry of it. Bad is a berry.
The berry.
Bad. Bear is to carry, but it's also a bear, like a berry.
To bury underneath, like dig.
No, the strawberry.
Oh, the berry.
Yeah.
Oh, berry.
Yeah.
Got it. Yes, got it.
So and bear is the juniper berry.
Hmm.
But N is the name of the juniper tree.
That's a very short word there.
It's also like egg is the oak, so juniper is the N.
Whoa.
And
June.
N also means one.
So it'd be unipair. Unipair.
Juniper.
With the correct, instead of saying the J, the hard J in English. Unipair.
Juniper. Yeah, it's also a uniper. It's universe pear.
Yeah. Whoa. So, what other N? That's an interesting one. I need to write that down. Think about that a little bit. This N. There's a lot of N.
Like N is everywhere, like the Gubben Per.
Oh, it's just N, just knowledge, right?
Yeah.
N. Huh. I'm gonna have to look up this tree. A juniper tree? I can't even think of what it looks like off the top of my head. Oh, it's a type of tree.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a large tree for sure.
From juniper you make gin. And then you have the gin in the bottle.
Oh yeah, and when you said that, I thought of jeans.
Jeans also.
Wow, these are big, beautiful trees. Wow, these trees look very special for sure. Yeah. They look very special. Here's one called a Spartan juniper tree. There's a lot of different juniper trees, from common to all kinds. Nice blueberries. Cool. All right. That's a lot of pear. Did I have any more? Did we have any more Ukko? How do you say this? Can you say that the other name for Ukko again?
Aija. Can I tell a short Christmas story which has to do with this?
Okay.
Because like it is a linguistic thing. Like Finnish people only know joulupukki, and that's then the Yule goat. So in Christmas we always have joulupukki for Finnish people. And then in Swedish we have they call it jultomten. So that's like a gnome, a Christmas gnome.
Yes.
And in Norway they say julnisse. I don't know how to translate nisse, but it's kind of similar feelings. And in Denmark, they have julemand, which is then the Yule man, Christmas man. But then here in Uudenmaa, we have 3 different kinds of dialects. So we have the Western Uudenmaa, which is they call julbocken, which is then also the Yule goat, the Yule Christmas goat. And then in Central Uudenmaa, we have Gubben Per, which is then the Christmas Ukko, the joulu-ukko. And then in Eastern Uudenmaa, we have Busy, And then the busy is the aya. And
Aya.
yeah, and you're busy. The busy, like we call in Eastern Udenbah, we call men like busy, like he's the man. And in Gotland, they also say you're busy. So like the connection between Eastern Udenbah and Gotland comes also with the word busy.
Busy.
Kind of being busy, but it's like B-I-S-I.
In Spanish, you have playa, which means
Playa.
beach.
Yeah.
Then there's kayak, which is a water vessel.
Yeah.
Kayak. Maya, that's without the M. There's fruits, papaya, banana, mango, papaya.
Waiting for it.
Yeah, that's all I can. Everything would be like combinations. Like I thought of when I said pliable.
But playa is also play a. So it's again one play of itself.
Yeah, and pliable is also kind of a synonym to malleable.
Yeah.
Malleable. And malleable gives you like form.
Yeah. Or model.
And yeah, and this is like normal.
Normalable.
Form of the north. Yeah, the form of the north. Yeah. Normal. Playable. Displayable. Displayable. Displaced. Portrayal.
Portray.
Portrayable. No, that's a stretch. Portrayal. Trial. I don't know. Trial. Yeah, I don't know.
But there is also, when we talk about Ukko in general, because like Ukko Väinämöinen, after he comes from Ice Age out, and then he lives his generation from generation, until then this crusade starts to come, and then Kalevala tells that Ukko Väinämöinen, when this the king of Karelia comes, which is kind of referred as this Jesus, that then Ukko Väinämöinen escapes and he goes away with his boat. And when he goes away, he says that he will return. And when he will return, he will come and give us a new Sampo. And that will then happen in the day when there is no sun, no moon, and no free joy. And that's kind of an interesting perspective on resurrection, because Saga tells us through Fylgia, Valkyria, Melchior, that people resurrect and can come born again. So Kalevala kind of suggests that Väinämöinen will resurrect in some kind of way and come back to us one day. In some form or shape, I don't know how.
So my idea, I'm trying to be academic about it. Zodiac.
So
yeah.
That's how the act of being, the zodiac.
Zodiac. Zodiaca. So Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's aya, aya, huh?
Ah, yeah.
Aya.
Do you have English
All
some
right.
words with ah? Ah.
There's very few with this.
We should have an alphabet day just to
Yeah, for
practice the
sure.
sounds.
Yeah. I mean, true. I know I should practice more out loud. I more hear it in my brain, but when I say it, the sounds just don't come out right. But I think I kind of hear them okay in my head
Yeah, yeah.
when I'm reading from
But
text.
it's the way how to find how the tongue have to be shaped so that you can get the small
Yes,
differences.
it's very interesting. And just to follow up, because we were talking about how the pole and the hole and the ring, a half ring, makes the letters in the alphabet wheel. There's also something to someone shared a video in the Telegram. I think it was Thor, and it was someone describing how the sounds of different sounds are from different parts of the mouth and throat.
Yeah.
And that was something I actually noticed and pointed out early on, is when you say the O, oo, or Uden, your mouth makes an O, ooh,
Ooh, yeah.
right? But then when you go to the U and you think of Ursprung, it's much deeper, or it's much lower and in the back of the throat, but also what sprung means, like coming from, to like spring into, right? And that is like the bottom of the throat is this sound is coming out of, and you loosen your lower jaw and it makes like a U.
Ooh, yeah, it makes a little bit.
Yeah, it like where the anyway. So I feel like there's something to that, the shapes of those, and also the actual tonalities of the sounds of these letters, and or I should just say of the sounds of the sounds. And there's got to be some cymatic, or cymatic's more visual, right? Acoustic, 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 is has a role in there's something more there. I don't know what it is. And also I can't sing worth a damn, and I don't know any. Even if you're playing, yeah, I don't play any instruments. I'm more of a percussionist. Oh my gosh, percussion, an acoustic.
Now we're diving into music.
Yeah, but this is how Ukko would deliver the information, right? They would be with a stringed instrument called the kantele,
Yes.
right? The kantele.
Yeah.
And literally means can tell. So this is how this information, how these stories are told, is in these rhymes. And we were, in the previous recording talking about all these songs, and how there's a way the Kalevala is coming together and being able to be remembered, the lyrics of and the words and the meaning and stuff like that, and how that information is delivered and created in the first place. And maybe what do you think that, like, people weren't so talkative like we are today? It
Why
wasn't
not?
necessary.
Like you can say
Where
blah blah.
Yeah, I don't mean it like that. More like, there is less to say because so much is known, and so it's more about the experience, right? And so our words, are said to have been given to us by Udin to create an appreciation for creation, appreciate. I can't. Apparition. Apparition. Apparition is like a ghost.
Yeah. Maybe that's how Ukko travels when he goes outside of Uudenmaa. Apparition.
The person is in my dreams the most is my dad.
Okay.
And that is interesting. I don't have a bad relationship. It's just we kind of have a normal relationship. We talk regularly, things like that. But he always plays this kind of archetypal role in my dreams. So there's and dreams are something that there's something there's way more to dreams than I think than just retaining the information, right? Like in our dreams and our sleep is when we our subconscious works out problems or works out these big archetypical things about our lives, right? So it's possible, like if that's how the spirit, and the breath, the spirit and the breath works, where you breathe in and you breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And so it's in the breath that these spirits are cycling in. Every time we breathe in, we're breathing in spirit, and we're also breathing out spirit. And it has a big influence on our lives. But this dream world, I mean, my dreams are nothing like reality and nothing like my imagination when I'm awake. I'm completely unrecognizable I have no idea where my dreams come from, but they're freaking cool. I have amazing dreams, but maybe that is a way that a form of communication that maybe our high-gened people are able to disseminate information this way, or hear information or get information in this world.
I would combine that into the seeing itself, like the skill of seeing things, because the Acer is the Acer, is the A who sees. So seeing skills in general, like you see things in your dream, but then depending on how you're able to see them, depends then how you're able to interpret them. So like you can have dreams where you understand them, or you can have dreams where you don't understand them. And then the same dream like state comes also then first if we start to switch into clairvoyance and start to understand seeing in different ways.
And droom is, say it again, say it. Dream. Is with the ring with the two dots above it. And that is representing the eyes.
That's one eye. Yeah. But it actually is also it's the dot of the eyes.
Right.
Because the A is the eyes.
Are the eyes.
Yeah.
And it's in the word dream in root.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go with that. What about Finnish?
Yeah, it goes a bit. It goes deeper
Is there
thinking.
in Finnish?
Uni.
What?
That's universe then again.
Did you say uni?
Uni.
What the heck? That's a wild word to have for dream. Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes, now soon you can go for a uni.
Yeah. Wow. That's a wild word. That blew my mind. I don't know what to do with that.
Just go and dream.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Do you have anything that you think might be nice to hear about Ukko that may not have been mentioned too much? I know I kind of briefly went through a Eeyore Bock recording where he's looking at the Gotland stones and describing them, and he described Ukko, the Gubben Per. Per and Van means head, like head of the family, and every other meaning of head. And lancet formed hood that he would wear. So you can tell by the helmet and the sword depicted as going in between his legs is one way to see that he is is Ukko that is being depicted.
Yeah, there is also a small detail into that this lancet and the club form, that is about normal people in general. But the pirouette family, the men in the pirouette family always have a club form. So even if Ukko is represented, or Lemminkäinen is represented as a lancet, he still has the club, the kind of curved shape. That's
so
like
it's irrelevant.
Irrelevant?
Would it be irrelevant? Would it be irrelevant of what kind of form the Lemminkäinen or would have? Like, what if this isn't just the Lancier shaped?
The Lancier comes when you come into Vanar.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
In the Vanar and Rosette, it matters if you have a straight or a curve.
In the Osser, it does not. So for
in
like Ukko, Lemminkäinen.
In the pirouette. In the pirouette, everybody is born with a curved.
Okay.
There is something. I was thinking before one day that in the Roman alphabet you only have the I. So you only have lancets. But in the root alphabet you have also the J, which is then the curved.
Nice. Nice. That is interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you have erased the curved man away.
Right. And I is J with the dot above it and everything.
Yeah.
So when we do a lowercase j, it's an I with like a little extra curve, and then it still has the dot above it.
Yeah.
Like, what's that all about? And that is a logical explanation. Huh. These things are beyond coincidence.
That's why when in Finnish mythology, Ukko after the Crusades and the church came, Ukko became overgod because the Finns still believed that he was above others, even if still a normal man. He becomes Ukko Ylijumala, Ukko overgod. That just represents how big of a person he is.
I'm just looking at Dream,
Huh?
And it's giving me unelma.
Unelma is then when you start to split it up into pieces. Unelma is more used for the dream, like when you dream about having a house, for example, that's your dream. That's your
Right.
unelma. The uni is the dream which you have when you go to sleep.
Oh, okay. And then what about this one? Unenako. Unenakur. UNENNA 2 dots K ring 2 dots. Hold on. I got it.
Nake.
Yes, thank you. It's just that
Nake is to see a view. So unenake is when you see dreams. Or unenake is like to see a dream.
But do you hear the aku at the end?
Okay.
So when you see the dreams?
Yeah. That's unenake or in a way.
But aku. Doesn't that sound like aka or ukko? Doesn't that have an aku sound to it?
Nake is vision.
Right.
It has actually the both kind of sounds mixed in together. Aka, nake, ukko, naka, nake.
Yeah. It kind of has those sounds, but being strict about the sounds, it doesn't. You're really strict about it.
But then we have to understand also how our words constructed. Which that we don't, in the one language, we don't understand it completely yet. But you have the knowledge of ake.
Yeah.
And ake is then when you take the dots away, you have aka and ukko or ake.
But along this line of you were suggesting how does he sit in this tower and receive all this information? And I'm suggesting that maybe it's through this dream state.
Yeah, it's nake is a seeing state, a dream state when you think also.
So I have the craziest dreams. I'm not gonna tell them about it. I mean, I have the wildest dreams. Okay, and I've had dreams where I'm in someone else's dream, and it's not my dream, and I'm like narrating to the person having the dream.
Okay.
And I started getting these kind of dreams from time to time, and total stranger and someone else's dream. And I had to talk to somebody about it because I know this Native American lady, and I told her, and she said, "You, that's a very powerful thing, and they call it astral projection."
Yeah.
Astral projection, and she says she does it for friends, and she'll go into their dreams to help them work out things in their lives and stuff like that. And I'm like not I'm not prepared for that. And when I decided I'm like, I don't want these kind of dreams. I like having my own. I never had another one like that ever again.
But it's like,
I'm just saying maybe it is possible. Based on my own
astral projection is what Arthur does, as I see it. The Sienare does astral. He sees from the as to the tral.
The straw. Oh, the as to the trawl through the straw.
Yeah.
Straw.
Yeah. And that's aser. Aser, astral projection.
Here's another one. Unexia.
Unexia, that's when you are like dreaming about something.
Ek. Sia. You see the ek.
Yeah.
In your dreams, uni.
Yeah, you have un, x, e.
Oh, that's also X, like
Yeah.
exchange.
Yeah.
Because that's X with an S at the end. So that would be X.
Yeah, because Finnish write the X as KS.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would actually be an X.
Yeah.
Un X ia.
Yeah.
Wow. So I should probably head off to bed. Can I ask you
can
just
go
one
to
more
Unex,
question
yeah.
though? Can I ask you just one more question about the Finnish language? In English we have this. When I try to describe Finnish to someone who knows nothing about any of this stuff, just a regular person I run into, and you know, I'm like, hey, what's your hobby? And you know, they say something, and they ask me, and I go, well, I've actually just for about a year now been into this rabbit hole of Finnish mythology. And they're like, Finnish mythology? That's weird. Like I don't, and I'm like, yeah, what do you know about Finland by chance? And they're like, nothing, absolutely nothing about Finland. No one knows anything about Finland. And so when I try to describe the language, this is how I do it, but I'm probably being a little inaccurate. So maybe just through my explanation, you can kind of re-say what I mean, which is I say in English, we have this past, present, and future tense for words. I did, I will, I have, or something like that. But in Finnish, there's over 100 different tenses for words. I can't wrap my mind around that. Could you help kind of just give some idea of what the heck I even just said?
I have just learned to hear them, so to say. Like if I need to make these words which has combinations of many different things, I just have to listen to them in my mind so that I'm able to combine them together, and then I'm able to write it. So like it's a lesson of itself to understand all of these different ways that you can twist a word.
Dog.
Huh?
Dog. Or goat. Pukki.
Pukki.
Yeah.
Pukki, pukin, pukilla, pukistako, pukillako.
So what's the difference between just those first three, for example?
Like
in
pukki
English.
is the single form of goat. Pukin is pukkis, the ownership form. Pukilla is like with the bock. Pukista is from the bock. Pukillako is the ko is a question. So like, does the pukki have? Pukillako. Onko pukilla? Does the pukki have?
So is it possible to have, you can basically have a word that no one ever said before?
Yeah.
And everyone will know what you're saying.
Eventually, yeah, like if you like, because you can make these words which like tens of letters. You have like words with 30 letters, but it's actually just word combination letters.
Yeah.
And you can combine these letters in many different ways so that you have kind of new words, but not actually new words because they're just combination words.
Okay, that's a little too much for me for now.
Yeah.
But
just go and Unexia about it.
Yeah, it's even crazier than or not crazier, but
yeah, but there you have also the uni, unexia, unelma. That's all combinations words out of one word.
Mm-hmm.
You have the same pattern in English, but when those words start to combine different words together, you have the talent of splitting them up into pieces. You can find.
I mean, we sort of, English is quite a bit more. It depends, but we have more syllables. But or not syllables. Now my brain's really melting. Synonyms. So we have more synonyms, or we have a much larger variety of synonyms than probably any other language for many words. And then there's some words that we have almost like no synonyms for. Love being an example. There's all these different types of love, right? But
there
we
is
only
two
have
different
words.
kinds. In root you have älska and kärlek, which both has to do with love. Finnish you have rakkaus. And then in English you have love.
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 Liken. Lichen. Love. But then there's other, you know, like it's even saying here, like we have dream, fantasy, vision. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fantasy.
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 Fan is again can be relating sometimes to Ukko and sometimes to Seppo. And then
we'll be on the seed. On, we have that on, through on. Os, tour, on, the, I don't know.
Fantasy, fun takes seed, or fun takes seed.
Fantasy. Fanta.
Fanta.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola Fanta.
Yeah. So anyway, okay.
This is very nice.
Let's wrap it up.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm glad you made time and you had a time change.
Yes.
And can make it
Summer
happen.
is coming.
Yeah.
Ukko the Golden
Probably
King.
not soon enough for you.
Yeah.
It's just starting to get beautiful and rain a little less here. Once a week or so now.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, that was good. That was good. That was fun. And I'm pretty sure I exhausted all the pair words.
Are you sure?
Not even close. Not even close. But maybe with a little more persistence, I'll find some more. But the journey is perilous.
It's the paramount of everything.
Yeah, but once you get to the upper echelons of all these words. Hey, have you ever been to the opera?
I would really like to go to the opera.
Opera. Opera. Yeah, that sounds good.
Maybe that's when he is in the tower. Opera.
You know what the first word started was diaper. Can you believe I started with diaper? I opened with diaper. Come on. I opened with diaper. Like, how silly. I'm like, well, it's in diaper. I mean, it's got to be in other words too, right? Diaper is like the least good one.
But that's how babies start with. You put the diaper on them so that they can grow up to be bad.
I mean, also like words that end in P, it's really easy to just tack on an ER. So then,
Ah,
but
maybe that's with
like
purpose.
you
Purpose.
reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Or like the Grim Reaper. So that would be cheating. That's not. I don't know if repair. Well, repair. But repair would be like more like a pair, like two.
Yeah, but the pair
So
is
like
also then
the
the pair. The Ukko and Akka is the pair.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So repair.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna repair the planet so that we can pair re.
All right. Well, this was superb.
Superb.
um, yeah.
Should we say thank you? The
Expert.
pair. Pair?
Expert.
Expert. Take the pear from the tree and peer it with
Yes.
so that you can appear.
Yeah. Well, that's some of the perks to the language, Okay, cut it off. I need to stop.